Do you ever wonder, what in the world was it thinking when you hear about a ghost haunting someone? Well, now you can find out. In Ghost Stories The Flip Side, Fiona Fabblestabble, ghost and ghost representative, tells the ghost stories from the side of the ghosts. So sit back and get ready for the real story. The Flip Side.
Fiona Fabblestabble here, ghost and ghost representative. Welcome to my new podcast, Ghost Stories, The Flip Side. What does that mean? What that means is I tell a ghost story the way you livings have always heard it, which is wrong, and then I tell the story from the ghost side, which is right. Yes, I'm a ghost. I talk to the other ghosts. No, we can't record the other ghosts, but we can record me. If you listen to other episodes, you'll figure out why. I can be on record. I just want to say, I'm getting ready to educate you on what the ghosts really meant to do. So, the first story I have is from Thaddeus Brown, and it is called Johnny and the Liver. A long time ago, in Oklahoma, there was a little boy named Johnny who lived with his parents on the outskirts of a small town. They lived on a farm. And one thing everyone always said about Johnny was Johnny loved his candy. He could never get enough candy. One day a year, his parents would take him into town to the candy store and buy him candy. One piece of candy. And sometimes he got candy at a party, but he never got enough candy. So one day when Johnny came in from doing his chores, he saw his mom sitting at the kitchen table. And she looked a little sad. She had a sad little smile on her face. And she said, "Oh, Johnny, you know how Grandpa died a couple weeks ago?" "Yeah." "Well, he left us some money, a little bit. And he said the first thing he wanted us to do was have a really nice dinner. So, Johnny, here's some money. I want you to go to town and buy a liver for dinner. And guess what, Johnny? If there's money left over, you can buy yourself a piece of candy." Oh boy, Johnny was thrilled. A piece of candy. It wasn't even his birthday. Thank you, Grandpa. So Johnny ran into town as fast as he could. When he got there, he slowed to a walk because he kind of had a stitch in his side from running so hard. And he had to walk past the candy store to get to the butcher shop. When he walked past the candy store, he thought to himself, you know, maybe I could buy the piece of candy first, and then I could eat the candy while I'm waiting for the butcher to get the liver. That seemed like a really good plan to Johnny. So Johnny went into the candy store. Oh my gosh, there was so much candy in there. Chocolate bars, chicken bones, taffy, licorice sticks, goofballs, peppermint drops, mountain bars. Johnny was just thrilled. So it's the first time he'd ever got to really spend some time in the store. So Johnny walked around, he bought a mountain bar, paid, ate it. He was about to walk out when he thought, I'm still hungry. There's a lot of money here. So he bought a chocolate bar, ate it. Yeah, some chicken bones sure would be good. Ate some chicken bones. How about Cracker Jack? I'm still not full. Anyway, you get the idea. By the time Johnny got done eating all the candy he wanted, he looked at his hand and there was only 2 cents left in there. He was like, uh-oh, what am I going to do now? I'm going to be in so much trouble when I get home. Plus his stomach hurt a little bit from all that candy. But Johnny started to slowly walk home. And as he did, he passed the graveyard. And he thought to himself, you know, maybe there's a way I could get a liver after all. So he went into the graveyard. His grandpa's grave was still kind of fresh. It had only been 2 weeks. Caretaker's shed was right there. There was a nice big shovel in it. And Johnny looked around. There was nobody close by. So, yep, Johnny dug his grandpa up, took his little pocket knife, cut out his grandpa's liver, rolled his grandpa's body back into the coffin in the grave, put the dirt all over it, kind of stomped it down a little bit. and ran off home with his grandpa's liver. Well, he was trying to think up what he could say to his mom. It was pretty dirty, but he was dirty all the time. But he thought she might be a little suspicious of the liver, but he came up with something pretty good. So when he got home, he gave his mom the liver, and she said, This is what they sold you, Johnny? Really? This liver doesn't look too fresh, Johnny. And Johnny said, it's a new kind, and they prepared it a certain way, and it's supposed to be like that. He said, it's the best liver you'll ever taste. So his mom said, okay, Johnny. So she cooked the liver. Johnny really didn't want to eat that liver for dinner when his parents were eating it because he knew where it came from. But he was caught in a lie, so he had to eat the liver. So Johnny choked down as much of the liver as he could. And then he said, maybe excuse, I'm not feeling too well. I want to go to bed. His parents said, oh, Johnny, yeah, it was a long day. Go ahead, go to bed. So he went to bed and he went to sleep. And he was sweating and tossing and turning. He really didn't feel good. But he finally dozed off into a fitful sleep until around midnight. He heard a thud. And it woke him up, and he heard another thud. He's like, what is that? And then he heard a voice. Johnny. I'm coming, Johnny. Thud. Johnny. I'm on the first step. Thud. Johnny. I'm on the second step. Johnny kind of recognized the voice. It seemed like it sounded like his grandpa a little bit. Thud. Johnny, I'm on the third step. Thud. Johnny, I'm on the fourth step. Thud. Johnny, where's my liver? Johnny, I'm on the fifth step. Thud. Johnny, I'm on the sixth step. I need my liver. Johnny. Johnny tried to yell for help, but he couldn't get his voice to work. Thud. Johnny, I'm on the seventh step. Thud. Johnny, I'm on the eighth step. Johnny, why did you take my liver? At this point, Johnny pulled the covers up over his head as tight as he could and just shook under the covers. Didn't know what was going to happen. Thud. Johnny, I'm on the ninth step. Johnny started to cry a little bit. He was pretty scared by now. Thud. Thud, thud. Johnny, I'm here, and I want my liver back. Well, Johnny didn't make it. And when they did find him, a couple days later, it looked like he had the, what scared out of him. Terrified look on his face. So they all assumed that he had died from the haunting. And a word got around, don't know how, but that's what they assumed. Hold the mustard. I have Thaddeus Brown here with me, and Thaddeus is now going to tell the true story. See, Johnny was Thaddeus's grandson. So Thaddeus is going to tell us now what happened. Okay, Thaddeus Brown here. Look, I didn't kill Johnny. I loved Johnny. He was my grandson. I loved him. I didn't want him dead. Everyone says I scared him to death. Not true. Did I mean to scare the little brat? Well, yeah, he stole my liver. If I'd let him get away with that, he would have come back for a rump roast. My body would have looked like Swiss cheese. So yeah, I wanted to give him a good scare. I wanted him to stop all the lies and straighten up and be a good kid. Oh yeah, and then people are like, what's all the thumping about? Why you gotta go thud thud all the way up to his room? Well, you tried going up a set of stairs without a liver. See how well you do. Anyway, did Johnny die? Well, yeah, the whole family died. Why did they die? Look, you can't eat meat that's been rotten in the ground for 2 weeks. That's a killer. Well, thank you, Thaddeus. You've been listening to Ghost Stories The Flip Side, Johnny and the Liver, Thaddeus Brown. I'm Fiona Fabblestabble, Ghost and Ghost Rep. We'll see you next time.
This has been Ghost Stories The Flip Side. The ghosts thank you for listening and wish you a long and happy life.